Good morning, America. A once-in-a-generation weather event, bracing for the president's new tariffs, and celebrating the life of Val Kilmer.
Life-threatening weather targeting millions. Overnight, 2 tornadoes reported in Kansas. Now, where we could see a rare double whammy. High risk for tornadoes and high risk for extreme floods. The major cities bracing for flooding of epic proportions. Ginger tracking it all.
President Trump set to unleash his new tariffs. The uncertainty this morning, what they could end up costing you on everything from cars, food, electronics, and pharmaceuticals.
Luigi Mangione facing the possibility of the death penalty if convicted of murdering United Healthcare CEO. How his attorney is responding.
The estranged wife of a retired Green Beret charged with murdering him. Why authorities believe she did it. And what his girlfriend is saying this morning.
Rough waters. A cruise ship battered by waves up to 40 feet. Passengers struggling to stay on their feet.
Ticking clock.
Yes, sit down. Sit down.
One wife quickly takes action when her husband was experiencing a widowmaker heart attack.
Okay, I'm calling 911. Let's just try to No!
How she knew something was wrong. Dr. Tara Narula is here with the surprising signs and symptoms to watch for.
And remembering Val Kilmer.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Overnight, the Hollywood leading man passing away at 65 years old. From Iceman in Top Gun to Batman Forever.
A man's gotta go his own way.
Taking on Jim Morrison in The Doors. And as Doc Holliday.
I'm your huckleberry.
This morning, we celebrate his legacy.
Live from Times Square, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Boy, Val Kilmer, so many incredible roles. My favorite being Doc Holliday.
Yeah, also so moving in that return to Top Gun.
Exactly.
That was really something. Yeah. We're going to have more on him coming up. Also, take a look at this right now. One of the busiest ports in the country and the largest on the East Coast. As Americans brace for President Trump's most aggressive tariffs yet, we're going to tell you what they could impact coming up.
But, George, we're going to begin with millions of Americans in the path of potentially life-threatening storms right now. Ginger is in the threat zone in Memphis, Tennessee, tracking this once-in-a-generation extreme weather event. And, Ginger, we could see an exceedingly rare double whammy for certain areas, tornadoes and extreme flooding?
That's exactly right, Robin. So here we are in Memphis, Tennessee. We're in a level 5 out of 5, high risk. You don't see these issued but about 1% of the time. It makes it 3 times more likely that we will see a violent tornado today. That's the type of event we're talking about, and that's just the first part before the flooding. So let's talk about the line of storms. It blew through Oklahoma City just a little bit ago here. You see video of the lightning flashing. They had ping pong ball or golf ball sized hail. Then up in Kansas, at least 2 reported tornadoes. That video from Salina, and they can see the winds kind of blowing. Along that line, they've had 80-mile-per-hour winds. We've got tornado watches in place from Missouri down through the Ozarks and northwestern Arkansas into eastern Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas. That line keeps marching east. St. Louis, it will hit. And then by the time we hit 7 p.m., we're going to get it here in Memphis up to, say, Paducah. But even Indianapolis will be getting storms. And then we'll move it just a little to the east before it kind of stalls out. We'll get to that part. But focused on the tornado part, that red area and then the hot pink area, those are the spots where you could see strong tornadoes. We're talking EF3 or greater all the way through Arkansas, Cape Girardeau, Missouri, up into southern Indiana. Wanted to just point out, though, the second and equally as important, particularly dangerous situation, flood watch. That's where we're talking about days of rain along the Mississippi Delta here in Arkansas and Tennessee, northern Mississippi, but also flood alerts all the way up to Detroit and Cleveland. When we're looking at 10 to 15 inches of rain falling in just a couple of days, George, a reminder that nearly half of the deaths in flash flooding come in vehicles. So turn around, don't drown has never been more important.
Yeah, you got to follow that advice. Okay, Ginger, thanks very much. We're going to get the latest now on President Trump, set to announce a sweeping new round of tariff sales taxes that will have a huge impact on consumers and the economy. Rebecca Jarvis is going to break that down after this report from Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, after weeks of uncertainty and anxiety, in just hours here, President Trump is finally set to unveil his most aggressive tariffs yet. He says they will restore fairness to the global trading system and ultimately grow the U.S. economy. But economists warn American consumers will pay the price. This morning, the country and the world bracing for impact as President Trump prepares to unleash reciprocal tariffs on America's trading partners, what he's calling Liberation Day.
What they do to us, we do to them.
But it remains unclear what exactly the president will announce today. The scope of these tariffs and which countries will be targeted still unknown.
He's with his trade and tariff team right now, perfecting it to make sure this is a perfect deal for the American people and the American worker.
The uncertainty is injecting fresh concern into an already jittery stock market. As economists warn, American consumers will bear the brunt of this. Tariffs on imported products are taxes paid by American businesses. Those costs are then passed along to consumers in the form of higher prices on everything from groceries and electronics to cars and clothes. The president insists his tariffs will ultimately boost the economy and encourage manufacturing in the U.S., but it could take years to ramp up production on American soil. The message from the White House: have faith.
You should trust what this president did for you in his first term. He effectively utilized tariffs while driving down inflation.
But experts have concluded the tariffs during Trump's first term drove prices up. The president sees these new tariffs as a means of economic redemption, a way to punish countries that he feels treat the U.S. unfairly.
Many countries have taken advantage of us.
He has acknowledged Americans could feel some short-term economic pain. The big question: how long will it last? Consumers now rattled and racing to make big purchases like cars before the tariffs hit.
This weekend alone, I think we sold and delivered probably about 40 cars, which is 20-30% above normal.
In Brooklyn, New York, Robert Samuel decided it wasn't worth the risk to wait.
I was going to purchase a car later down the line, but now that it's been updated with these tariff prices affecting us, I decided to come in today and leave with one of them today.
And the president will finally unveil these tariffs here in a Rose Garden ceremony at 4 p.m. after the markets close. We are told they will go into effect immediately, George.
Okay, Marion, one other thing that's going into effect, these massive layoffs at the Department of Health and Human Services.
George, 10,000 layoffs are now underway at HHS. The move catching many off guard. We saw those long lines yesterday of federal workers outside buildings waiting to learn if they'd been fired. Some showing up only to discover their badges had been cut off. Now, among those fired, the FDA's top tobacco regulator, under whose leadership teenage tobacco use dropped to its lowest point in a decade, also laid off researchers working on everything from drug use and mental health to reproduction and infertility and workplace safety. George.
Okay, Mary Bruce, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. Our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is at the Port of Newark with more on how the tariffs could impact consumers and businesses. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Michael. Yeah, and behind me here, this is one of the busiest ports in the country. It's the largest here on the East Coast. Shipments are coming here every single day from places like China, Vietnam, India, and all over Europe. And it is everything from furniture to appliances, electronics. Wine comes here, spirits, toys, clothes, and car parts, about $240 billion worth of goods every year. So what would these tariffs mean in real terms, especially if the tariffs take immediate effect, as the administration has signaled? Well, the president hasn't shared the specifics of his plan, but if it was a 20% across-the-board tariff, according to analysts, it would lead to 3.7% higher food prices, double-digit price increases on items like computers and clothing. Pharmaceuticals, which can come from places like Ireland, Germany, and India, would get more expensive, and cars, even those made here, they get many of their parts from places like Canada and Mexico, so those prices would rise, and it would lead to households paying about $3,400 to $4,200 more a year. There is this question of how quickly it would hit. We've spoken to shipping companies, and they say they have boats in the water right now coming here to the United States. They expect if those tariffs take effect immediately, they'll be paying them when they hit the border, Robin.
Oh, my. All right. Our thanks to you, Rebecca. Now to the high-stakes elections. Had a big night for Democrats. They secured a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, is in Milwaukee with the latest for us. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Robin, good morning to you. In a major blow to President Trump and Elon Musk, the liberal county judge Susan Crawford winning a seat on Wisconsin's state Supreme Court. This race is nonpartisan, but that did not stop Democrats and Republicans from going all in. But perhaps no one more than Elon Musk, the world's richest man, and groups that he backs, donating more than $21 million to this race. Musk himself hosting a town hall, virtual events, doing a media interview, but also personally handing out 2 $1 million checks. In the end, it was not enough. Crawford insisting that these results show that elections cannot be bought, but voters also keenly aware of just how consequential this race was. It has now shifted the balance on the state's high court, and that could have big implications for future rulings on abortion rights and congressional redistricting. Voters also headed to the polls in Florida for 2 congressional special elections, one to replace former Congressman Matt Gaetz, who the president initially tapped to serve as his attorney general, the other to replace former Congressman Mike Waltz, who is currently serving as the president's national security advisor. Both of those seats in traditionally red districts, and Republicans were able to hang on to both of those seats, Robin.
And Rachel, we know overnight that New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, he set a record, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. 25 hours and 4 minutes later, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker broke the record for the longest speech given on the Senate floor. He said he was doing it all to protest actions taken by the Trump administration, from immigration to those cuts to the federal workforce. It comes as Democrats are really trying to find their footing and how to counter President Trump's agenda and his message. But to pull off that marathon speech, he had to stay standing the entire time with no bathroom breaks, Robin.
Okay. Well, leave it at that. Thank you, Rachel. George?
He talked about fasting before he did that. What a record he set yesterday. We're going to turn now to new developments on Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing United Healthcare's CEO on a New York City street last year. Attorney General Pam Bondi has directed prosecutors to seek the death penalty. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has the story. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, George. President Trump has said he wants to revive capital punishment. So now the first person his administration is targeting for execution, accused CEO killer Luigi Mangione. This morning, Luigi Mangione faces the possibility of the death penalty if he's convicted of murdering United Healthcare chief Brian Thompson. The 26-year-old's accused of stalking Thompson as he strode into the Hilton Hotel in December, approaching him from behind and shooting him in the back. Attorney General Pam Bondi called it a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination and announced federal prosecutors would pursue the death penalty in line with President Trump's push to restore capital punishment. Mangione's attorney called the decision barbaric and said he should not become the government's trophy. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to state charges, but New York does not have the death penalty. The only way it could be imposed is if Mangione is convicted of federal crimes.
How long will it take for Luigi Mangione to go to trial, not only for the state case, but also for the federal case? And then how will each and every one of the possible appeals that he will employ work out? Will that take the length of President Trump's 4 years in office? Timing is a big issue here as to whether or not, even if convicted, Luigi Mangione would be put to death.
A death sentence would require a unanimous vote from a jury. Mangione has received an outpouring of public support, including these heart-shaped notes that prosecutors said were smuggled to him and an online legal defense fund that has now raised almost $800,000. Mangione has not yet been indicted on federal charges, but Michael, he does have a date in federal court later this month. Michael.
All right, Aaron, thank you for that. And we're going to turn now to celebrating the life of Val Kilmer, the Hollywood legend who started movies from Top Gun to The Doors to Batman Forever, has passed away at 65. Larry's here with more. Good morning, Larry.
Yeah, that was sad news to hear. Good morning, everyone. Val Kilmer commanded the big screen, making a name for himself, playing larger-than-life roles that showcased his natural-born talent, showing he was able to take on any genre.
You guys really are cowboys.
What's your problem, Kazansky? You're everyone's problem.
Val Kilmer was one of the biggest stars of the 80s and 90s.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Bursting onto the scene in the original Top Gun as the cool pilot Tom Iceman Kazansky opposite Tom Cruise.
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
Then as the Dark Knight in Batman Forever.
If Bruce Wayne could have given his life for your family, he would have.
Kilmer was the quintessential leading man with rugged good looks and charisma for days.
Break on through, break on through.
He did his own vocals in one of his most critically acclaimed performances, playing Jim Morrison in Oliver Stone's The Doors. But it was his sardonic Doc Holliday in Tombstone that would win the hearts of theatergoers.
I'm your huckleberry.
Kilmer was born in Los Angeles and was the youngest person at the time to be admitted into the prestigious performing arts school, Juilliard. For 30 years, starring alongside some of Hollywood's brightest stars.
Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
Picture me.
In 1995, he teamed up with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in Heat.
The bank is worth the risk.
But in 2014, Kilmer was diagnosed with throat cancer, losing his voice due to a tracheotomy, which he discussed with our Chris Connolly.
I feel a lot better than I down. I feel wonderful.
What do you miss most about your old voice, Val?
But I had one, and I didn't laugh like a pirate.
Kilmer continued to act, with his voice being dubbed over by other actors, returning to the silver screen in 2020, starring alongside his daughter Mercedes in her on-screen debut.
You're my dad. You'll always be my dad, no matter how your life becomes.
My kid.
I'm so proud to have been in this film and to have worked on this film, like, not just because my dad is my actual dad, but because it really meant a lot to me to be able to be involved in this film that centers a disabled actor or an actor with a disability.
His final film appearance would be in the most successful movie of his career, returning to the role of Iceman in Top Gun: Maverick.
The Navy needs Maverick.
Val Kilmer died of pneumonia Tuesday. He was just 65 years old.
And Val told GMA about returning to that role in Maverick, saying it was absolutely moving for him, and that in between takes, he and Tom Cruise laughed like they were high school kids.
Nice
I
image.
love hearing that.
Yeah, his range.
Yeah.
Like you said, so many different genres.
So many genres. He was very talented. Youngest student at the time ever admitted to Juilliard. He will be missed.
And that says it all.
All right. Thank you, Lara. Coming up, the North Carolina woman accused of murdering her estranged husband. Janae Norman is tracking an effort this morning. Good morning, Janae.
Good morning, Robin. He was a retired Green Beret. We'll explain the evidence that led investigators to his estranged wife and what his girlfriend is saying this morning.
Also ahead, investigators say they're now convinced the death of a Super Bowl reporter may have been part of a scheme that goes back years.
And new at 7:30, the incredible rescue after the earthquake overseas. A woman who was buried in the rubble for 91 hours was saved.
Coming up, one of our fave shows, Abbott Elementary star Chris Perfetti. He's here live in Times Square. That's right, Jacob is going to join us in our next hour. Come on back.
Hi, this is my friend Rachel. Hi.
Hi, Rachel, I'm Dr. Mitchell.
And I'm his friend, Dr. Rosen.
Aren't you a little cute to be a doctor?
Excuse me?
I mean, God, young. I meant young. Young to be a doctor. Oh, good, Rach. Thank you. Right.
Back here on GMA, yes, Noah Wiley, George Clooney, guest starring on Friends. That was in 1995. That was 30 years ago. It made you think back to Noah's days in the ER. Now he's back in the hospital, starring in the hit new show, The Pitt. And he's here live in Times Square this morning to tell us all about it.
It's a great, intense show. First new at 7:30, the latest in the Israel-Hamas war. Israel's renewed military operation in the Gaza Strip is expanding to seize large areas, according to the defense minister. Also, at least 6 people were injured when a box truck jumped a curb in downtown Boston yesterday afternoon. Police say it appears to be a tragic accident.
Rescuers pulled a 63-year-old woman from the rubble of a building in Myanmar some 91 hours after the 7.7 magnitude earthquake left more than 2,700 people dead. Hundreds are still missing and more than 4,500 people are injured. Plus, the NFL announced they're substituting out those chain gang crews who've helped determine close first down plays and putting in Hawkeye, which is a virtual measurement system of cameras. The league promising a new technology will give more accurate and efficient distances between the ball and a fresh set of downs. Hawkeye technology is already used in many professional sports, including tennis and Major League Baseball. Now, you don't have to sit at the sports bar and go, that was the first down. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. We'll have it perfected
won't
now.
stop those arguments.
Yes, yeah, you're right about that, George. Take a look at these adorable creatures. After San Diego Zoo, it recently asked the public to pick names for their 2 sloth bear cubs. And now GMA can exclusively reveal the winning names. The female cub is now Shahani, which means magic, shining, and regal. And the male is Kumar, which translates to prince.
That's an exclusive.
That's an exclusive.
Sure.
And Lara didn't do it. I did animals today. There we go.
You got it.
We're going to switch gears now to the North Carolina woman accused of killing her estranged husband, a retired Green Beret. We're now hearing from his girlfriend, Janae Norman here with the story. Good morning, Janae.
Guys, good morning. This is a really wild story. He was a retired Green Beret who was looking to start a new chapter. He was in school, planning to file for divorce when he vanished. Now his estranged wife is charged in his murder. This morning, police say that 50-year-old Shayna Cloud murdered her husband, Clint Bonnell, the day after he asked for a divorce. Bonnell, a Green Beret, had recently retired after a 20-year stint in the Army. In January, he suddenly disappeared. A month later, his body was found in a pond 3 miles from the home he shared with his wife and stepdaughter. The 911 call obtained by our station WTVD.
It looks like there might be a part of a body floating out in the water.
Last week, his remains were identified. Shortly after, his wife was arrested.
He was excited about life, always working out, always doing yoga, walking, hiking trails. He loved his animals. Just a really awesome person.
Kelly Edwards was dating Bonnell during the last few months of his life. She says he and his wife had been living separate lives for the last couple of years.
I know that they were coming to an end. And, the last couple of weeks, 5 or 6 weeks, things were really shifting. There were some concerns for sure. And obviously, no one understood the severity of those concerns.
According to police, Bonnell texted Kelly the night before he disappeared to tell her he had met with a divorce lawyer and had told his wife he planned to go through with it.
He was really exhausted that day. He had been kept up the night before. You could tell he had been through a lot.
The next day, authorities say Shayna Cloud shot and killed Bonnell. Shayna would tell investigators the last time she saw her husband was at their house on January 27th. A forensic investigation led to search warrants in Virginia where Cloud owned property. Warrants were issued on Cloud's vehicle, rental property, and cell phone. Cloud maintains her innocence.
Miss Cloud is innocent and looks forward to her day in court.
Bonnell's family saying in a statement, Clint was an incredible human who sacrificed so much for others and dedicated his life to the betterment of this world. All we can do now is pray for swift and just punishment for Shayna Cloud.
He was just a jovial, happy human. And he was really looking forward to his next part of his life, closing a chapter, coming out of the Army after 20 years.
So the missing persons investigation quickly became a homicide investigation. And though Bonnell's partial remains were found in February, it took investigators weeks to identify. Cloud is due back in court later this month. His girlfriend says he had a stepdaughter, Cloud's daughter, who he loved so much. So imagine how she's feeling.
Oh, can I only imagine?
Yeah,
that was rough. All right, thank you so much for that, Janae. We're going to turn now to the Kansas City reporter found dead while covering the Super Bowl. Investigators now say the 2 people accused of drugging and robbing Adon Manzano have been pulling off similar schemes for years. Aaron Katersky is back with more. Good morning, Aaron.
And good morning again, Michael. The death of the Telemundo reporter while in New Orleans covering the Super Bowl was more than a tragedy. We're now learning it may have been part of a long-running robbery scam with victims in places beyond New Orleans. This morning, Louisiana investigators say they're now convinced the death of sports reporter Adon Manzano may have been part of a scheme that goes back years.
What began as one case has morphed into a statewide, countrywide crime spree.
Law enforcement officials tell ABC News text messages between the suspects Danette Colbert and Ricky White show they discussed drugging and robbing unsuspecting men in various locations in Louisiana and in Las Vegas. Surveillance images show Manzano entering his hotel February 5th with a woman police identified as Colbert. He was later found dead face down in a pillow from the combined effects of Xanax and alcohol. Police said Colbert intentionally drugged Manzano to render him unconscious before taking his phone and bank cards. Colbert's now charged with second-degree murder. Her attorney has said she's innocent. Her alleged accomplice, Ricky White, is charged with robbery and fraud. He has not yet entered a plea. Manzano, a beloved friend and colleague, was in New Orleans covering the Super Bowl for Telemundo Kansas City.
He was very passionate about all sports, and you could see that in his segments. We are missing him a lot as a friend and as an employee.
Prosecutors say they've been collecting evidence and information, but some victims have been reluctant to come forward, maybe out of fear or embarrassment. They say that may be why, guys, this alleged scheme had gone undetected for so long.
Oh, thank you for being on top of this for us, Aaron. We appreciate it. The dramatic video of an Arizona man having a heart attack. He and his wife released the video, hoping to bring awareness of what a heart attack actually looks like. Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Tara Muir joins us with this video, and people need to see this video, don't they?
Exactly. It's really good to see what it looks like. Good morning. The symptoms can be subtle and easy to dismiss as something else, but this couple is sharing their experience in the hope they'll help others recognize the warning signs, act fast, and save a life.
It was a moment they didn't see coming.
Does it feel like food stuff, or does it feel like yeah, sit down. Sit down.
For Michelle and Jeff Goss, the minutes before leaving the house for an Arizona Cardinals game became a ticking time bomb. The whole incident caught on the couple's home surveillance camera.
He just kept saying, I feel really nauseous. I feel really nauseous. And then he
started getting clammy a little bit.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden his color just turned gray. I've never seen that color in a human before.
Jeff was experiencing a widowmaker heart attack, one of the most deadly kinds, when the major artery that supplies blood to the heart gets completely blocked. The survival rate, about 12%.
Your chest hurt? Okay, I'm calling 911.
Let's just try it.
No.
I didn't think it was anything serious at all. I really didn't. And then even after the fire department got there, I really didn't think it was that serious. I thought this was a mistake that we called you, until right when I got to the ambulance. That's when it really, really got bad.
Because of her quick thinking, Jeff got treatment fast. Within an hour, he underwent a procedure to open a blocked artery. The couple says the doctor told them if they would have waited another 10 minutes, Jeff wouldn't have survived.
It was terrifying to me to see that look like, oh my gosh, he's scared. And if he's scared, now I'm really scared, because he's just not. He's like the rock in our family.
Michelle sharing the scary ordeal on TikTok. It's received over 10 million views, helping others save lives.
Just call. Don't go lay down and rest. Don't hesitate. Just make the call and just let them come check you at least.
This story illustrates just how important it is that you listen to your body at the first sign of trouble and not wait until it's too late.
I'm so glad that they're sharing this, because you have an idea of what it looks like, but to actually see it. So what are signs that you should not overlook, simply not overlook?
So a lot of people think it's a sharp, quick chest pain. No, it's usually more of a pressure, squeezing, tightness, heaviness that lasts 10, 15, 20 minutes. And you can feel a sense of nausea, shortness of breath, break out into a cold sweat. And then you heard him say that he had his left arm was tingling and numb. That can be another sign. So a lot of those signs that may not be, oh, I'm on the ground, you know, it can be a little bit more subtle, as you saw. Yeah. But so important to get treated fast. We like to open those arteries within 90 minutes. The heart cells will die if they don't get blood fast enough and they don't come back. So it's really critical to get treated quickly, restore the blood flow to the heart muscle to save it.
I'm so glad he listened to his wife, because you're saying sometimes, you know, guys, you're like, oh no.
We'll just tough it out. You know, we'll give us a minute. Yeah.
No.
But that combination, heavy pressure and then the tingling.
Correct. She said, listen to your body, don't listen to your husband in the interview. A nice little message there.
Okay. Nice.
Good advice, though.
Right? Yeah.
That works for a lot of things.
Exactly.
It's time now for our play of the day, and the family getting the photo bomb of a lifetime during a photo shoot. Larry, you got it for us.
Yeah, you know, when you're on vacation with your family, you're taking those pictures in a busy tourist area, a photo bomb is bound to happen, but this was really one for the books, the history books. Check it out. Preston and Belle in Washington, D.C., posing for a picture surrounded by cherry blossoms in peak bloom. And wait a minute. Who's that in the background? Could it be? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's former President Obama. Obama unknowingly walking into the frame during a morning stroll. The kid's mom, Portia, so excited. She posted the picture online, writing, such an epic core memory formed for our entire family. And guys, here's another core memory for them. Obama replied. What? He posted the photo to his Instagram story, writing, Preston and Belle, I hope you enjoyed peak bloom. My bad for stepping into the shot. Obama posted his own shot from his walk and said, it's fun to be able to play tourist every once in a while. The cherry blossoms were beautiful this morning.
And they had no idea.
No clue until they looked at those pictures and said, wait, that guy looks familiar.
How cool of him.
So great that he got in on the act.
A
true core, epic core memory.
What?
That's what they called it.
Okay. I guess my story was fascinating.
All right, Lara.
I do have more coming.
Okay, pop news.
But wait, there's more, everybody. Why Ralph Macchio is teaming up with Jackie Chan. We'll answer those questions and more in pop news when we're back for more epic core memories.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. A once-in-a-generation weather event. Overnight, 2 tornadoes reported in Kansas. Now, where we could see a rare double whammy. High risk for tornadoes and high risk for extreme flooding. Ginger tracking it all.
Former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Teddy Mellencamp on her stage 4 cancer fight.
It's sad when I can't be there for my kids the way I would always normally be.
And what she learned from her famous father. And remembering Val Kilmer.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Overnight, the Hollywood leading man passing away at 65 years old. From Iceman in Top Gun and as Doc Holliday.
I'm your huckleberry.
This morning, we celebrate his legacy.
The Karate Kid is back.
I'm not coming to New York. I will see you in the Big Apple.
Ralph Macchio uniting with Jackie Chan. This morning, new details about Karate Kid legends.
Ancient way. Miyagi way. There's 2 of them. Focus!
Take my breath. And the doctor is in. Noah Wyle is live in Times Square to talk about his hit show, The Pitt. He's back in the ER, and he's saying,
"Good morning, America."
Live from Times Square, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
Morning America, Noah Wyle is going to tell us which doctor he would go to for help. Would it be Dr. Robbie from The Pitt or Dr. Carter from ER?
Be interesting to see what he comes up with, what he says. We want you to take a look outside. Those M's on their jacket, stands for Michael. I was so excited when I came in. Then I realized Michael B. Jordan's here. Not me. Hey, broke my heart. Well, he's arriving in Times Square this morning. They're excited about that. He's with Haley Seinfeld, who I'm excited about, and director Ryan Coogler as well. And Tori Johnson, she had super saving to spring into the Easter season, starting at less than $5.
It's a double whammy, Michael. The M's for both of you.
But thank you, George. It's making me feel good about myself right now. That's very important for your coworkers to feel good. Thank you.
You're welcome. First a look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with that once-in-a-generation weather event. Ginger's in the threat zone in Memphis. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, George, good morning. So Memphis here at a high risk. Those only get issued from the Storm Prediction Center about 1% of days, and it makes you have a 3 times more likely event of getting hit by a strong tornado. So we'll get into that, but we don't have to wait long for tornadoes. Tornado watch already up with this line that's blasting through parts of Missouri into the Ozarks of northwestern Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma. That's going to keep coming to the east. St. Louis will have it by about 1 p.m. The afternoon and evening is where things just go downhill here. So Memphis back to Jonesboro up to Paducah. We stopped it at 7 p.m. Then it gets closer to Nashville, closer to 10 p.m. But it stalls after that, which I'll get to. That large, long-track tornado area, Cape Girardeau, Paducah, Jackson, Tennessee, here in Memphis, Jonesboro, Arkansas, that's the heart of it. But don't sneeze at what happens from Indianapolis down to, say, Texarkana, because you could still see along that line some embedded tornadoes that are strong. Particularly dangerous situation. Flood watch is up. This is going to go, Robin, through the end of this week. A lot of people see more than 80% of our damage comes from flash flood days from high risk, which is what we've got tomorrow in the region that you see highlighted there. And Robin, you know I've chased storms for 25 years or so. I'm watching the low-level jet, which is one of the things we watch, and it is kicking this morning. That is one of many ingredients coming together for a violent day.
Oh, I know. I know that you're on high alert for that and letting everybody know. All right, Ginger, our thanks to you for being in the field for us. Now to more on how the president's new round of sweeping tariffs could impact consumers and businesses. So go back to our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, at the Port of Newark. Good morning again, Rebecca.
Nice to see you again, Robin. And this is one of the busiest ports in the country. It's the largest here on the East Coast. Things like furniture, Car parts, toys, clothing come through here every day from countries including China, Vietnam, India, and most of the European Union, places like Italy, France, and Germany. So what would these tariffs mean if they were to take effect? We still don't have the full details. We'll get them later today from the president, but economists believe they would broadly impact prices, driving things like your food, even pharmaceuticals, car prices higher, and by one estimate, they could add costs for the American family household anywhere between $3,200 to $4,200 more per year. There's still a lot of unknowns. The important thing as a consumer right now is to stay nimble, be flexible. If you see something on sale, you can stock up, but rather than panic buying at this moment in time, Michael, better to stay within your budget. Michael?
That's right. Stay within your budget. You're right about that. Thank you, Rebecca. We're going to turn now to a frightening scene. A cruise ship hammered by waves reaching 40 feet high. Passengers struggled to stay on their feet. And our Will Reeve is here with the story. Good morning, Will.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here and not on this ship, Michael. Good morning to you. They call it the Drake Shake. It's named after what happens when the seas are rough in the Drake Passage between Antarctica and South America. Honestly, shake is underselling it. This video is remarkable. This morning, we hear from passengers in the middle of that harrowing moment.
Holy look at that! This is crazy.
Watch as waves up to 40 feet rock this cruise ship on its way back from Antarctica. Leslie Murphy was on board.
The best way I can describe it is being on a roller coaster for 48 hours straight. And to some people, that's exhilarating. And for others, I think it could be just kind of hell on earth.
There's like a massive one.
Passengers seen tossed around the hallways.
Plates were smashing everywhere. And that's when you see people kind of looking at each other being like, is this normal? Should this be happening?
Just keep a hand on the ship at all times.
Eventually, those on board locked down in their cabins. The ship was traveling through the infamous Drake Passage between Antarctica and South America, known for its occasional rough conditions.
You're standing there thinking, if this class goes, but I had full faith in that ship. Kudos to the captain. It was a ride and a roller coaster of a lifetime.
Yeah, how about it? The ship did make it to its destination, but what a ride.
I don't know if I would have been standing right where we saw some people standing so close.
I know I wouldn't have been.
But everybody's all right. That's the main thing. Yeah. Thanks, Will.
All right. Thank you, Will. Coming up in our GMA morning menu, Real Housewife Teddi Mellencamp shares an update on her cancer fight.
Also had the new shopping experience on one of your favorite apps. We're going to show you how it works, plus some of the savings you can get starting this morning.
And we're going back to school with Chris Perfetti of Abbott Elementary. He tells us about the major plot twist that took him by surprise. And Larry, you have another special guest upstairs.
George, Noah Wiley's here. He is my favorite doctor from ER. Sorry, George Clooney. Yes, well, now he's gone from Dr. John Carter to a new medical drama. It's getting rave reviews. It's called The Pitt. Noah will tell us all about that and a lot more coming up on GMA. So happy you're here.
We're back now with our GMA cover story. All right, it's an update on former Real Housewife Teddi Mellencamp's fight against cancer and what she just learned. Eva Pilgrim is here with the details for us. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. Teddi Mellencamp has been very open about her 3-year battle with melanoma, undergoing more than a dozen surgeries to remove cancerous spots. The reality show star now revealing that journey recently took a devastating turn.
Having the best isn't important to me, but being my best is.
This morning, a new hurdle for former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Teddi Mellencamp in her stage 4 cancer battle. The 43-year-old gracing the cover of Us Weekly, revealing the heartbreaking discovery of another 4 small brain tumors during an emergency MRI last week.
It's sad when I can't be there for my kids the way I would always normally be.
Teddi sitting down with the magazine just 2 days before that scan, describing the shocking diagnosis she received in February that melanoma had metastasized to her lungs and brain, requiring emergency brain surgery. Teddi telling the magazine, an incredible surgeon was able to remove 4 tumors from my brain. I didn't know they had been there for 6 months to a year, and we had no idea. The mom of 4 who was in the midst of a split from her husband, Edwin, opening up about that recovery.
When I was in the ICU, it was incredibly difficult because I had no memory. I couldn't remember the dates any day. And then But one day I did realize it was my daughter's birthday, and I couldn't be there for it, and it was really sad.
Teddy is currently undergoing radiation and immunotherapy treatments, but says she's not sure her children know the extent of her health battle, saying, quote, "I think they're a bit scared. I'm going to fight really hard. I can't imagine my life without them, so I'm going to do everything I possibly can, no matter how mean it makes me. I can't imagine any of them living without me." The fitness company owner trying to remain active, but admitting it is sometimes a struggle.
I tried to run and I couldn't. And that's when everything was like, oh my gosh, Teddy, you are no longer where you were. You can't just jump right back into this. You have to slowly work your way up. And that was pretty devastating.
Teddy also sharing how her famous father, rocker John Mellencamp, calls her every day and the valuable lesson she's learned from him.
He really did teach me to fight, to always, no matter what it is, to fight to be my best, fight for myself, fight for the people I love.
And Teddy sharing that her friends and former co-stars have been an incredible support system. And she says she has really leaned on her sarcasm and humor to help get her through some of these rough moments. This issue of Us Weekly will be on stands nationwide by this Friday. Michael.
All right, we hope she has a full recovery here. We're thinking of her for sure. Now it's time for some pop news, Lara.
All right, let's do it. Good morning to you all. And we're going to continue by remembering actor Val Kilmer. The tributes are pouring in as we remember the Hollywood legend and the roles he brought to life. Josh Brolin posted this photo and he wrote in part, "I'm going to miss you. You are a smart, challenging, brave, uber creative firecracker." Ray Fiennes also posted a picture of the pair. They voiced the animated Prince of Egypt together, and he wrote, "Val Kilmer, rest in peace." Also posting the official social media account for the Top Gun movies. They posted this photo of Kilmer from the original. And they wrote, "Remembering Val Kilmer, whose indelible cinematic mark spanned genres and generations. R.I.P. Iceman." Val Kilmer had been battling throat cancer since 2014, later losing his voice but never his star power. As a reminder of his impact over the course of his career, guys, Kilmer's films made nearly $2 billion at the global box office. And I was reminded as I was doing research this morning that he sang every song in the Doors movie. Right. Remember that Oliver Stone picture? He played Jim Morrison. So talented, and he will be missed. Also in pop news this morning, a fresh take on an iconic movie and then television show. We have your first look at Karate Kid legends with Ralph Macchio's Danny LaRusso. He's back and teaming up with Jackie Chan's Mr. Han. The movie picks up 3 years after Cobra Kai's version of the franchise left off with our new Karate Kid, played by American-born Chinese star Ben Wang. Forced to leave Beijing and move to New York City with his mom, the Kung Fu prodigy wants to leave his fighting past behind him. But you know what? He ends up entering a karate competition, and that's where our friends Jackie and Ralph come into play. Take a look.
Sensei LaRusso. Let's make a Karate Kid. You have a foundation of Kung Fu.
We're going to build upon that with karate.
Ancient way.
Miyagi way. There's two of them.
Focus!
I love it.
It's the Miyagi way. The Miyagi way. The trailer debuted at CinemaCon to huge applause. Karate Kid Legends. It'll be in theaters on May 30th. And guys, I'm so excited. The stars will join us live right here on GMA on May 28th. I loved Cobra Kai. The show was so fun. And then also, guys, we are officially in our 6-week countdown to the GMA 5K Fun Run. Today just happens to be National Walking Day, so if you're considering joining us with your local running group, with family, friends, even just on your treadmill, be sure to join GMA's Strava community, GMA Moves. Today, Strava coach Lauren Fleshman is launching a 6-week training plan to work for anyone from beginner to expert. She's got you covered. We know one person who's all in and kicking off her training with us this morning. Welcome to Wisconsin native Kim Neller, 61 years young, gearing up for her first ever 5K with Team GMA. Woo! Good morning, Kim.
Good morning.
We are so proud of you. What inspired your journey here?
Oh, I watched my kids, my adult children, with their running communities and the fun that they have when they get together or when they're just out running. And I was just thinking I wanted to be a part of that.
Sounds like you had a little
Give it a
FOMO. I know that you're excited to do it. I bet there are some nerves involved. Can you tell us what you're most nervous about for this endeavor?
Having not really run before, I guess I'm just nervous about being able to cross that line, but I'm going to do it. No matter how it looks, I'm going to get across that line.
I have no doubt.
Absolutely.
I love your determination and just the fact that you're raising your hand and saying, I want to try something new. I know you're a grandmother. That's a great inspiration for so many people. We're so glad you're joining us for the fun run. Let's do this.
Let's do this. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, we are rooting for you, Kim, every step of the way, and I do mean step. You can walk, you can run, as we've said. Do it on your treadmill. Just come on and join us. Follow along on GMA Moves Strava group, guys. It's going to be great.
What is it, May? We're doing this in May?
We're doing it in May.
May 28th.
May 14th.
May 14th.
May 14th
is when we have to start. That's what I was asking.
Okay, I knew something within May.
Let's do it.
So you've got plenty of time, everybody. Just jump on in. It's a great way to kickstart.
Yeah.
Fit, I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. Let's go.
Let's go, Kim. Let's go, Kim.
Back here on GMA, and this morning we are paging Dr. Robbie. Dr. Robbie. Noah Wyle is back in the ER on the hit new show, The Pitt. Noah, it is great to have you here on GMA. Looking sharp, man.
Thank you very much.
Looking like a doctor. Hey, people are saying it is career-defining, this role. A lot of people think that you are in the running to win an Emmy. Just tell us about The Pitt.
The Pitt takes place in a Pittsburgh emergency room. It's 15 episodes, 15 hours. 1 hour is 1 hour in one shift of one day in these practitioners' lives. And we go to work in the morning with Dr. Robbie, and we go home with him, a slightly changed man at the end of that shift.
And the doctors, the real-life doctors, are watching this and going, thank you, aren't they?
It's been phenomenal. We've been receiving nothing but the warmest embrace from the medical community. And yes, they do feel very seen and heard. We set out to make the most accurate and realistic medical show that had been done to date, and they seem to feel
How
like...
does that work? How do you get it to be so realistic?
Take the music out. Turn the lights on. You know.
The simple things, right?
Don't go into the closet and kiss the nurse. You know. Just little things that apparently they don't do all that often.
Well, you know, the fans are comparing Dr. Robbie to your character, Dr. John Carter.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, if you had an emergency, who would you want to save you? Dr. Robbie or Dr. Carter?
I would say both, but depending on what kind of day they're having. They're both exceptional physicians, but they both have had really, really bad days, and you don't want to be their patient on any of those days.
Which of the doctors do your kids prefer? You have 3 kids now, right?
I do, but my oldest kids, the ER was sort of... They were too young to watch it, so it's something that isn't really on their radar at all, which is a bone of contention in our household quite frequently. Because it's like the first choice that comes on. If you watch The Pitt, you may also like, but they haven't seen it, so they don't have a preference.
Let's give everybody a look.
Wait, hold on. What does she mean? More blood donors? You didn't use on-screen blood donations, did you?
We did what we had to do to save as many
You're
people
killing
as
me,
we could.
Rabinovich. And for the love of God, can you tell me that you didn't know about a shooter's hit list and then you let him go this morning?
He didn't do it.
Police confirmation?
No.
Then this nightmare.
Jesus! Gloria! The police are still looking. Why don't you go back to your micromanagerial ivory tower and let us get back to work?
Wow. No, this is so good. I mean, you were talking about it earlier as well. You seem to play a lot of medical roles,
Yes.
and people think you have medical degrees.
Yes.
In real life, do you find yourself sometimes thinking, hey, I got this?
I was just getting over the delusion. I was so close to really believing that, maybe I don't have any real actual talent as a physician. And then this show comes along and sends me right back over the edge. My family are pretty convinced that I'm delusional because I really do feel at this point like I could I could heal. I could heal people.
You can't even get your last name.
Say it out loud. I don't even believe it. No, it's such a joke that I'm playing a doctor. I do two things well in this world. I'm a pretty good father, and for some reason, I'm good at pretending to be a doctor, which is, unless you're on a medical show, the most useless skill you could possibly have.
Hey, we know you love to like take things from set. You know, Dr. Robbie's famous sweater and a hoodie and all that stuff. Yeah. So we got you a little something. You can't leave GMA without a gift. So we have a pen for you.
Oh, perfect.
And on top of that, we have this coffee mugs, and when you pull one of those, the next night shift on the Pitt, keep you awake, my friend.
There's nothing better than coming with the reputation that you steal, and then having people just preemptively give you the swag.
We're just protecting ourselves. We're getting ahead of it.
There could be worse reps. Hey, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Like we were watching the old Friends episode, and we can't believe all this time has gone by. But do you just feel the love from folks and how excited they are to have you back?
Well, it's so, we shoot at Warner Brothers, which is where we made the other show.
Yeah.
And so it's, I'm walking past ghosts every day and feeling this very synchronistic moment that lightning has now struck twice in my life in the most blessed way. I'm just having a ball.
It's pretty great. You're deserving of all of it.
Thank you so much.
And The Pitt has already been renewed for season 2. It will premiere January 2026. And the next episode streams tomorrow. You don't have to wait that long. Streams tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern on Max. And coming up, Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, and Ryan Coogler are all here live. Big morning. The stars are out here on GMA.
Big morning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
As we head into warmer weather, and it's going to happen, Tori Johnson kicks off 2 days of Deals and Steals to celebrate as we spring into the Easter season. It's going to be here before we know it.
I hope so. But in the meantime, twinsies.
One of our favorites.
Twinsies. We're both wearing a brand new collection from Amelia Rose. But you pointed out to me you were wearing your earrings this morning, even before you realized that we were doing this. So this is a brand new heart collection, little framed hearts. These are gemstones with this beautiful bezel frame. And then we also have her mother of pearl initial collection, and these are they look fabulous on. You can layer them, you can wear them alone. Lara's already shopping this morning. So if we've got you and Lara on board, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about this one being fabulous, especially because everything's at least 50% off, starting at $29.
Big fan.
Okay. Classy charger. You can eliminate any kind of charger confusion when you've got your initial right on that charger. So I got an R and an A here, so there's going to be absolutely no confusion in your household. And what's fabulous too is that it's a 6-foot long cord that it comes with. So this is really great for travel because oftentimes the outlet isn't next to your bed, and you want you're doing your stuff. You want to be on your phone and paying attention on your phone, and so this allows you to connect anywhere. Plus, it's got a dual port capability in there too.
Oh, does it?
You see 2 of those. So this is just an easy way to add a fashion statement to your charger. They're $20 today.
They're
very pretty. Okay. Flat Seas candles, something else that's very pretty. Look at these. We've got the cherry blossoms here. So we've got cherry blossoms, we've got Easter designs, Passover, Mother's Day, birthday. It's that thin little candle that can even mail inside of a greeting card. They're scentless, 2 wicks. It's just like turns a candle into a work of art. These are fabulous, and they're $9.
You can't
So
beat that.
we love those.
We love to bake Easter time.
We do love to bake, and you can upgrade your baking supplies. This Silpat mat is like the original non-stick. If you feel this, it's the #1 replacement or alternative to disposable parchment paper. So if you want a reusable option, and then all of these baking molds make it so easy to be able to have your food just pop right out. So we've got all of these great baked good options from them. Truly makes every kind of baking so much easier, and that's kind of, you know, what some of the fun of baking, get a little frustrated when it gets stuck in the pan. That's not going to happen with these. They're all at least 50% off. They start at $5.
All right, I admire those people who like to bake.
Some bake, some buy.
Some buy.
Some buy. I learned that when my kids were in preschool. There were the moms that baked and the moms that bought, and both were equally important.
That's right.
So we've got Cheryl's cookies, some of the best buttercream frosted. That's what they talk about, that real sweet buttercream. That's what everybody, we got a lot of fans in the studio. They're all individually wrapped, so they're preserved nicely. They've got lots of fun spring and Easter sets that they've created for us. These start at $20.
Very festive.
So fun.
All right.
And then finally, for the table to keep your guests engaged and off of their devices, Creative Crayon Workshop. These are just really great. They'll fill the whole table. They've got hundreds of places for kids and adults to do some coloring. And then you get a really fun masterpiece at the end. So obviously we have them for Easter, but we also have them for birthdays, baby showers, after school activities. Like, you can never go wrong with having one of these. I mean, they've got their little rock crayons that are pretty fun too to use. They've got, they feel really good when you it's almost like it feels like an oil, it's like an oil pastel how it feels. These are all slashed in half, starts at $4.50.
Great idea.
Fun.
Tori, thank you so much. And we have partnered with these companies on all these great products. You can get them at our website or go to the QR code that's there on your screen. Tori, going to be back tomorrow?
Yes.
Got more money?
Now, with a new way to shop on TikTok. This segment is sponsored by QVC Group, which is teaming up with the app to launch a really unique shopping experience. It's kicking off this morning, and QVC Group President and CEO David Rawlinson is here to tell us all about it. Thank you for being with us on GMA.
It's a real pleasure.
And it's a big moment for you guys.
It's a big moment for us.
Do you want to share your big announcement?
Yeah, so for the first time ever in the United States, we're launching a 24/7 live, always-on shopping experience. It's the first time it's happened in social media, and we're doing it with TikTok in an agreement with them on TikTok Shop.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And the reason why we're doing it is we think there's a problem in shopping right now. And we think there are a lot of people who are frustrated. You can go to big concrete boxes and it's trusted and efficient, but it's not fun. The same thing is true for stale websites. Or you can go to social media and it's fun
Where
and
you
connected.
are anyway, let's
exactly.
say.
It's fun and connected, but it's not always trusted. You're not really sure what you're going to get. So with this combination, by combining TikTok and QVC, you get the fun and connectedness and the joy, but at the same time, you get a company like QVC
a trusted seller
that stands behind this product, a trusted seller, and we're going to bring everything we do, our great customer service, our products, our inspiring people, and we're putting all of that together in a always on, never goes dark, always live,
really
new
smart.
deals experience. And so we think it's going to change shopping.
It's really smart. So tell us how it works.
So how does it work? So it's the first time it's ever been done. So we just launched yesterday. It's all brand new. You can go there now and see people live. We're going to be working with the TikTok influencers.
You're literally watching your live salespeople do what they do, what
That's
you are
exactly
known
right.
for.
That's exactly
except
right.
in this on digital. Okay.
Except on digital, and we're working with all your favorite TikTok influencers, and we're bringing all of our celebrities. QVC has over 100 plus celebrity relationships. We have thousands of products, and we're going to be bringing those products as well.
I'm glad you mentioned. Will you share with us just a couple of the products and
we will.
And anything else you want to?
We will. I think you'll see a graphic. So we do great beauty. We do great home decor. We have a bunch of deals that are live right now on TikTok Shop.
Sure do.
Just go to TikTok Shop, look for QVC. We're live right now with these deals. And by the way, we're going to have free shipping all this week through the weekend on everything that's on QVC's TikTok Shop.
You are kicking it off right.
We're trying. It's a
love
big agreement. It's a big moment.
It's a really smart idea. It's new. It's innovative. And thank you for bringing it to us. Appreciate that. Best of luck with it.
I appreciate it.
David, we appreciate you. Thank you to David Rawlinson and our sponsor, QVC Group, for sharing how you're leveling up the social media shopping experience.
I love it.
Big stuff.
And we are here now with Chris Perfetti from Abbott Elementary, plays Jacob Hill, the nicest teacher in history. Welcome, great to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks, guys.
So we hear there was a big surprise when you guys were at a table read recently. You didn't know the principal was going?
I didn't. Look, I've learned, not to ask Quinta in advance. I really like the experience of those table reads to be, they feel like a play. We have an audience there, and I like to experience the episode for the first time like everybody. So I was one of those people gasping in the room. And yeah, that's what's so thrilling about making the show so quickly is the audience, I feel like, is figuring things out not long after we are. We make the show so furiously that we're kind of in dialogue with our audience and with the world. It's a cool thing.
It is a cool thing.
5 seasons in, can you believe it?
I can't.
It's such a good show.
Thanks.
Thank you for you guys always come to us. And if you want to know what Chris was gasping about, we do have a clip. Let's take a look.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, everyone. If you don't have a parent, then you're on car wash duty, and we'll keep rotating, right? Are we ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Guess what I found in the basement?
Last person who should have a megaphone.
I haven't got the timing down yet, but I will when it's showtime.
Oh my God.
Okay, that wasn't the gasp scene, but it's a good one. Do you just love playing this character?
I do, and now we are just like, I think of these people as my family. We're really just trying to make each other laugh, things like that. So much of our scripts are so funny and so well baked, but the rest of it is just us trying to make each other break and trying to milk a joke and just have fun. It's really a blast every day on set.
Who breaks the most?
I hope it's okay that I say this, but I feel like it's Quinta, honestly. It's Quinta. Yeah. I think, she's holding the episode before and the episode after and the one that we're in all in her mind at the same time. And so I think, honestly, she just sort of forgets some of the jokes that she's written. and she's given us permission to sort of imbue these characters with whatever we want. And so I think she's the one that breaks the most. The rest of us are pretty ironclad.
You play a history teacher, you're a student of theater, so we're going to put you to the test. We're going to have a little game right here. It's called Hill or Will. We're going to read a line to you, and you have to guess whether your character, Jacob Hill, said it, or the original Will, William Shakespeare, said it.
Why is Will way better moisturized than I am? Who? Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
Will or Hill? This should be easy.
The course of true love never did run smooth.
Oh, Will all the way.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Better 3 hours too soon than a minute late. Hill or Will?
It sounds like something Hill would say, but I'm going to go Will again.
Very good. Very good.
I just don't remember saying that.
It does sound, though, like something.
Like a Jacob.
Our friend.
She did not say a word. Treachery of the highest order.
Oh, this is a recent episode. That's a Hill.
I see. If you didn't watch the show, I would think that was a Will.
I know. That's a good one. Good one, GMA.
All right, here's one. He's confident, a real extemporaneous thinker. Hill or Will?
Yeah.
You got it. You got it.
Wow, this is shocking.
You're very good.
Thank you.
You're very good.
You're on a run. If music be the food of love, play on.
Oh, Gorge, 12th Night. That's Shakespeare.
Yeah, it is.
You got 100. You get an A+.
I was never a good student, and here we are.
That's the influence of Abbott Elementary, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
for coming
you.
in.
We just love this show. All right, Abbott Elementary new episodes. They air Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. right here on ABC. Do not miss it. Streams the next day on Hulu. Just so fun. Great having you.
Thanks.
Coming up, we have Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, and Ryan Coogler all with us live to tell us about their new movie on GMA.
We're back now on GMA with Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, and writer and director Ryan Coogler. We're talking about their new horror movie, Sinners. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, you three. Thank you for being here. I was so excited when I came in this morning because I walked in, people were screaming, Michael, and they had these jackets with M on it, and I was like, they love me. Then I realized you were here, and I was like, oh, but I'm glad. At least one of us, Michael's getting love.
That's right.
It's just, story of my life.
Too. Cut it out, man.
But people who love you, which I do, of course, we all do, they're going to get a double dose of you.
They are.
You play a twin in this movie. You're twins in this movie. Both characters of Smoke and Stack.
Yes, sir.
So what was it like for you to play play two characters.
It was fun. It was challenging, the technical aspect of it all. Just like, you know, being able to operate in two spaces, acting off of sometimes a tennis ball, and sometimes nobody at all. I know it was really challenging for the other actors too, but it was a lot of fun playing these two extreme sides. One's a little bit more grounded, a little bit more mellow. You've seen the film,
Yeah,
so
different temperaments.
Different temperaments for sure, and one's a little bit more charismatic and a little more of a slick talker. You know what I'm saying? So I had a lot of fun.
Yep, definitely. It was it's so much fun to watch it. And Ryan, you're, you know, director, writer, producer extraordinaire. You said this is a love letter for you to like horror movies. Are there any ones in particular in the past that you can think of that led you to write this film?
Oh, so many. It's one of my favorite type of movie. You know, I would say the biggest influence is probably going to be The Thing by John Carpenter. Assault on Precinct 13 by John Carpenter is another big influence. A couple Robert Rodriguez films too, From Dusk Till Dawn and The Faculty. You know, that was a big ones for this film. But I pulled from a lot of different inspirations, and the biggest thing is the love letter to my uncle who passed away in 2015 from Mississippi, moved to Oakland, and he was the oldest male member of my family, and he just had a real passion for the blues, you know. So it's a love letter to him as well.
Well, I tell you what, I was up late last night because of you. That's all I'm gonna say. So we're gonna take a look at the clip. Just check it out.
I know you never planned to stay. Why can't you just say that?
Say what?
I love you. I think about you every day. I just want to keep you someplace safe.
Yeah, woo is right. Hey, we see you there, your character Mary, and you have some history with Stack. But this was the role I've never unfinished business. I've never seen you in a role like this. So for you, what drew you to it?
Oh my goodness, so many things. One being that it is unlike any role I've ever played. It was the opportunity to work with Ryan and Michael. This character challenged me in ways I've never been challenged, and in ways I don't know I would have been able to sort of tackle and overcome had it happened any sooner in my life. I felt like this was presented to me in a time that I was ready to take on and dig a little deeper than I ever have before. And this role sort of led me to, part of my research sort of included understanding my own family history a little bit better. Which I am so grateful for, feeling closer to my family, to my grandfather, who's no longer with us, but my ancestors. This movie started a big conversation for me, and I hope that's one of the many things it does for viewers.
Yeah, and I got to say, like you playing two roles and the differences that you had to find, but seeing you in this role, it's like, oh my God, that's my girl. Haley, like the range of what you can do is insane. And we know Michael and Ryan, it's not the first time you two work together. So I'm just curious, what's your relationship like? Is off when you're not filming?
Oh man, it's like brothers would be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Checking in on one another. You know, Ryan's pretty busy with his family, man. Got you know 2 kids running around, you know, driving them crazy, keeping them up at night. You know what I'm saying? so always trying to touch base with them, get advice from him. I'm pretty ambitious and always working as well, so I'm always tapping in with him to kind of get his thoughts and feelings on certain things, and just a genuine mutual love for each other, you know.
Well, I tell you what, we're all happy that you're here today. Movie's fantastic.
Appreciate it.
And I will be taking a nap today. Like I said, I was up late last night.
I love that.
Ryan, Haley, Michael, appreciate you all.
Thanks for the time, bro.
Thank you all
Appreciate
so
you, bro.
much. And you at home, do yourself a favor. Sinners. It's in theaters Friday, April 18th, and IMAX nationwide. Make sure you go check it out and have some fun.
Oh my goodness, what a morning!
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like Grand Central in here. I love it.
Have a great day.